Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sidhi-Boys podcast. Today we have special guest Tristan Paton.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tristan,
Hey.
tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So my name is Tristan Paton. I'm a current student at Indian Hills Community College. I'm studying lasers and optics technologies. In just the last 2 weeks, I got done with a event called P&I Week. So two companies every day come in and they do presentations and we interview with them for job opportunities. And that's one of the only places that at Indian Hills that kind of thing happens with lasers and optics technologies. Yeah, that program there is one of the foremost in the nation for photonics, lasers, and optics education. So it's massive companies, huge international corporations come directly to the program to hire directly. Names like IDEX out of Rochester, New York. We've got Mitsubishi, Komatsu, Mitsubishi, yeah, massive multinational Japanese corporations. And there's another big name that I was really hoping for, and that's Lawrence Livermore National Labs. They came to the program, interviewed all of us for job opportunities. So yeah, massive opportunities ahead. The lasers and optics field and the industry as itself is growing at an extremely impressive rate. Yeah, so it's going really well.
First of all, I really want to congratulate you on
Thank you.
those things.
Yeah.
It sounds very impressive, and I hope you get all the good jobs and everything.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Well, I was just really wondering, like, what exactly you're learning.
Yeah.
Fiber optics.
Sure.
Everything.
Yeah. So lasers and optics technology, we're studying how to build, develop, test, and maintain laser and optical systems, be it an actual laser that's actually putting out light or just a bunch of mirrors and lenses. We're trained to be able to understand what the system is doing. Is it breaking? How do we need to fix it? How do we need to build it up from the ground up? So, yeah.
What kind of applications does it have in, I don't know, jobs or, how would that
Sure.
be used?
So lasers, you can use it for all sorts of purposes, manufacturing, medical, even energy generation, like what Lawrence Livermore National Lab is experimenting with, just like machining, also with weapons for the defense industry. Lockheed Martin, I know for a fact they're building laser cannons. One of them is actually mounted on a battleship. So there is a battleship or a destroyer somewhere out there with like a 30,000 or 40,000 watt laser that can take out drones, incoming mortar rounds, missiles, anything within like a 10-kilometer radius of the ship instantaneously. Yeah.
I personally can't wait to see these cannons on satellites. It's gonna be like
And also, what's also that's actually happened with SpaceX. They actually have Starlink. That's how the Starlink satellites communicate with each other. They all have lasers on board, and they can just beam information through space to each other.
That's actually because Starlink is like they're putting tons of and just grids of.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about using like fiber optics or like any sort of light carrying system. You can just throw light in the general direction of where that satellite is, and that information will get to there.
Do you know how much faster that is compared to fiber optics?
It's the same speed, so it just depends on how fast, the data rates, the modulation. Almost like a megabits per second. Yeah, with a fiber optic, you can get huge bandwidths, upwards of petabytes, trillions of bytes per second.
You're offered a job, is that?
Yeah. So I do have opportunities. I cannot speak about them. That's the only problem. Yeah, I do have multiple opportunities that I am currently considering. It's all up to my decision of it's with many college programs out there. The prize is the company that's hiring. In the laser and optics program at Indian Hills Community College, the students are the prize. So it's only 11 of us, and 16 companies showed up. So the companies are competing for us. We're not competing for companies.
Cool.
So it's just completely turned on his head, and that's all thanks to our professor, Professor Michael Shea. And he's basically a rock star in the laser and photonics education industry. And a story of a little anecdote that I can provide to that is, about a month ago, my entire class, we fundraised a field trip to go out to California. And we toured the Lawrence Livermore National Lab, National Ignition Facility. We also went to not PNI Week, SPIE, which is it's a Photonics West. It's a laser and optics convention, essentially. And Mike was essentially like a talk or like a presentation, essentially, on the education of new students for lasers and optics, photonics, basically. And they were talking about like, oh yeah, Mike Shea's been doing all sorts of things. He's like the top educator in the industry. And hey, if Mike Shea's in the audience, please stand up. And Mike was in the audience, and he stood up, and basically the crowd went just nuts, because it was imagine if like just like your favorite music producer or artist were to be at like some convention about music and art, and they're like, oh yeah, this so-and-so's extremely good doing massive moves in the industry. Hey, if you're out in the audience, go ahead and stand up, make yourself known. And they're actually there. And it's like,
wow, that's your guy.
Yeah, and everybody was like, yeah. Yeah, so
Meet him now.
he's awesome. I don't he worked on some he worked with Northrop Grumman for some classified, apparently like weapons stuff.
Is this with Lockheed Martin? Did you get an offer from them?
Lockheed Martin didn't come to PNI Week, but Northrop Grumman did. So yeah, so the place that Mike worked at previously, before he came to before he started teaching lasers and optics, he worked at Northrop Grumman. It's called Cutting Edge Optronics. And they at Cutting Edge Optronics actually came to Indian Hills, and they were interviewing all of my classmates, including me. So